Afternoon. Here is the news at 4. First, the highlights. Lagos State to observe annual car-free day on Sunday, 22nd of September 2024. Federal government maps out comprehensive strategy to achieve universal access to high tuberculosis treatment and diagnosis. On the foreign scene, Israeli strike on Beirut kills top Hezbollah commander. In sport, New Zealand survives late rally to beat Australia in Thriller Rugby Championship. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. The Lagos State government, in collaboration with the Lagos Urban Development Initiative, LUDI, and other stakeholders, will observe the annual Car-Free Day in Lagos on Sunday, 22nd of September 2024. The initiative is designed to encourage road users and motorists to set aside their cars for a day and embrace active and inclusive means of transport, such as cycling and walking, known as non-motorized transport. Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Oshiemi explained that the primary aim of the initiative is to raise awareness about the benefits of non-motorized transport. Beyond reducing environmental pollution, it addresses the detrimental effects of insufficient physical activity on health. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, physical inactivity is the fourth leading risk factor for global mortality, accounting for 6% of global death. The Lagos State Civil Service Commission, CSC, has emphasized the importance of integrating sustainable practices into its operations in alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals as part of efforts to enhance service delivery and tackle prevailing economic challenges. This resolution was the key outcome of a two-day retreat held for the Commission's management staff and directors, with the theme navigating current economic challenges and integrating sustainable practices for optimal service delivery. In her remarks, the chairman of the Lagos State Civil Service Commission, Olubunmi Fabanwo, highlighted the urgency of embracing sustainability to ensure that government operations are not only responsive to immediate challenges but also aligned with global trends. Fabanwo emphasized that as the largest employer of Lagos State government workers, the Civil Service Commission must integrate the SDGs into its daily operations. She noted that doing so is critical to ensuring that the Civil Service Commission remains efficient, responsive, and in sync with global sustainability goals. A core club has been lauded by the Founding Elders Forum of the club for its effort in promoting social, cultural, and intellectual growth, noting that its dynamic programs have nurtured talent and celebrated the city's diversity for future generations. The former Honorable Justice Ibrahim Olorunibe stated this during the Founders' Day celebration to mark the activities of the 50 years anniversary. Olorunibe, who chaired the occasion, said the club was created to assist the people of Eko towards promoting and preserving the culture, alleviate poverty, contribute towards social development of Eko, and promote healthy living. He commended the club's sense of patriotism and citizenship to the massive development and growth experienced in the once upon small land of Eko Club in Surulere that has now grown to be full of gigantic buildings and edifices.
Eko Club is a drink dealer. For my research, Eko Club within 50 years and substantially covered the ground. And the club is not resilient. They are still working towards improvement.
In his closing remarks, President of Eco Club, Razak Amodu, said the club has made numerous contributions to the cultural tapestry of Lagos State through its various empowerment programs. He also commended past members and present members who have contributed immensely to the growth and development of the club.
In the last 50 years, the Eco Club has attained the enviable position of first among equals because we are a club that integrates culture, tradition, professionalism, and civic conduct. This among other qualities. This feat has been attainable due to the vision of our founding fathers, elders, helping of industries, affirmations, and the guidance of our traditional and spiritual.
That was the President, Eco Club Association, Razak Amodu. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has mapped out a comprehensive strategy to achieve the goal of universal access to high-quality, patient-centered tuberculosis prevention, diagnosis and treatment services in Nigeria through the implementation of a National Strategic Plan 2021 to 2026. PPM focal person, National TB and Leprosy Control Program, NTB-LCP, Stella Mapu, stated this at a media training organized by Journalists Against AIDS and JAIDS to strengthen partnerships and eliminate the burden of tuberculosis in Nigeria. Mapu stated that the government has been making efforts to align with the World Health Organization, WHO, and TB strategy program. She also highlighted the importance of creating awareness in complementing the effort of the NTB-LCP as Nigeria carries the highest burden of TB in Africa and sixth globally. President Bola Tinubu has penned a heartfelt birthday message to his wife, Oluremi Tinubu, who clocks 64 today. In a moving tribute, President Tinubu described his wife as his rock, confidant and greatest supporter, praising her unwavering strength, grace and love. He acknowledged Oluremi's compassion, generosity and dedication, which inspires millions of Nigerians, particularly young women who look up to her as their First Lady. The President expressed gratitude for having Oluremi by his side, citing her love, wisdom and strength as essential to his life, wishing her boundless joy, peace and happiness, looking forward to creating more cherished moments together. In foreign news now, a top Hezbollah military commander was killed in an Israeli airstrike on the Lebanese capital, Beirut, in a major escalation that has added to fears of an all-out war. In a statement, Israel Defense Forces spokesman Daniel Hagari said Akil, a senior commander in Hezbollah's elite Radwan forces, was killed alongside senior operatives in the group operations staff and other Radwan commanders. Earlier, Lebanese officials said at least 14 people were killed and dozens injured in the strike that hit the densely populated Dahir area, a stronghold of the Iran-backed group in the city's southern suburbs. In Beirut, there were chaotic scenes as emergency teams rushed to the site of the attack, rescuing the wounded and searching for people believed to be trapped under the rubble. Dozens were killed and thousands wounded in those attacks, widely believed to be orchestrated by Israel. In sport now, New Zealand has survived a late rally to beat Australia 31-38 in the Rugby Championship in Sydney and retained the Bledsoe Cup. The All Blacks opened up a 14-point lead at the break but were restricted to just one penalty in the second half and lost two players to the sin bin. Late tries from Hunter Paisami and Tom Wright moved Australia to within a score of a remarkable victory, but New Zealand held on. In New Zealand's 8th consecutive win over their trans-Tasman rivals and means they retained the Bledisloe Cup for the 22nd year in a row. And that's it on the news at 4, but just before we go, stop for pedestrians at zebra crossing. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration partnered 2 private firms to commence training for 1,480 creative practitioners? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government, in collaboration with the Lagos Urban Development Initiative, LUDI, and other stakeholders, will observe the National Car-Free Day in Lagos on Sunday, 22nd of September 2024. The federal government has mapped out a comprehensive strategy to achieve the goal of universal access to high-quality, patient-centered tuberculosis prevention, diagnosis, and treatment services in Nigeria through the implementation of a National Strategic Plan 2021 to 2026. We also told you that a top Hezbollah military commander was killed in an Israeli airstrike in the Lebanese capital, Beirut, in a major escalation that has added to fears of an all-out war. Finally, in sport, New Zealand has survived a late rally to beat Australia 31-38 in the Rugby Championship in Sydney and retained the Bledisloe Cup. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adesuwa Joyoka. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon and welcome to the return trip.
In a city that is now